Welcome to episode one after the introduction. If you didn't watch the introduction, I ask you to go back and look at that, listen to it. It really sets the tone and the groundwork. But let's begin. So, within this realm, these chapters, these episodes are in order, based on how they build on one another. This first one is called Begin with Stillness. Throughout these episodes, I'm going to quote various teachers, masters of the past, of really all forms of religion and walks of life. But these are people that have seen through the illusion of self into whatever that might be it God or enlightenment or seeing things how they truly are. These places come together. So this first Sufi saint is a woman, age of the time of 717 to 801 CE. I carry a torch in one hand and a bucket of water in the other. With these things I'm going to set fire to heaven and put out the flames of hell, so that travelers may see these veils, so that travelers may not see these veils, but only the real. Before a step is taken, the whole journey is already here. There is a moment before motion, before the word, the act, the reaction. In that moment there is stillness, not the absence of movement, but the presence of something deeper, a silence that listens, a spaciousness that includes everything without reaching for anything. We begin here, each time, each day. Without stillness, we do not know what we're moving towards. Without stillness, even our most passionate intentions just become ego wrapped in urgency. To begin in stillness is to recognize that the deepest truths do not arrive through effort, but through a stopping. Not forever and not as an escape, but as a return to what was always here. As Rumi would say, the quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. Stillness is not laziness. It is not passivity or indecision. Stillness is what lets us see clearly before a sword is drawn, before a tool is lifted, before words take shape. In a noisy world where everything demands our attention, stillness is an act of resistance. It says, I will not be moved by noise. I will move only from what is true. Thomas Keating would say silence is the language of God. All else is a poor translation. So how do we do this? Start your day in stillness. It need not be long, just real. 5 breaths before standing, 1 minute before answering, 1 heartbeat before a reaction, or 1 heartbeat before deciding what you're going to do next. Return to the stillness throughout your day, like a warrior returning to center, like a craftsman returning to level or square. Let your actions arise from it. Let your words fall back into it. Even in movement, stay in touch with the still point. This is not a technique, it is a remembering. The more you practice it, the less it feels like a practice, and the more it becomes part of your natural state. What are some common pitfalls? Well, our ego is clever. It can even take stillness and make a show of it. You'll know it's ego when you're proud how calm you seem. If you're using stillness as a shield against discomfort or a badge to display, you'll know it then too. True stillness is not concerned with appearance. It is utterly private and profoundly shared. It doesn't seek anything, and in doing so it touches everything. Stillness is not a place you go, it is what remains when you are no longer trying to be anywhere else. Let's talk a little bit more detail about how we do this. So let's take 2 minutes each day, and you begin by stopping. Sit or stand comfortably. Do not settle in. Do not prepare. Just stop. Notice that raw movement when motion ceases, like a pendulum hanging in mid-air before its return. Don't reach for quiet. Let stillness meet you where you already are. And if you're not still, notice that too. Notice how you've gotten pulled away, got into this autopilot that we tend to do. In thinking, sense the space between thoughts. Try 3 to 5 minutes of this. Close your eyes. Let thoughts come and go. But instead of following them, feel your body's response. Does the chest tighten when thought arises, a particular thought? Does the jaw clench or the stomach flutter, or does your breath change based on what you're thinking? Track these reactions. Then return your awareness not to the breath, but to that gap between thoughts. In other words, you may not know this, but as you look into these things, you may have a particular bodily feeling, a sensation, and that spurs a thought. And from that thought, you develop a whole story, a narrative. You get tied up there, and it all originated with a sensation in the body. The same is true for the mind. You have a thought, the body says, what's going on? It begins to react to that. And next thing you know, you're spiraling. So this is where we can touch stillness. We look at that gap between thoughts. We come to what is real. Like I'm sitting in a chair. I'm touching the table before me. I feel that. I don't try to conceptualize it. I just feel it. I feel that moment. You may ask yourself, what is here that I'm not reacting to? Who am I before the next thought begins? Let's go a little bit more into the body, the weight of stillness. Bring attention to the soles of your feet or your buttocks sitting in your chair, touching the ground. Feel the gravity. Feel the pull downward. Let yourself feel heavy, grounded. Not limp, but rooted. Stillness has a weight. Let that settle into you. This actual felt sensation, without trying to get descriptive, can break a cycle of almost trauma-type thinking. Say to yourself, there's nowhere to go. The whole journey is already here. Motion without leaving. Try 2 minutes of this. Now open your eyes, move a hand slowly. Walk a few steps. Can you feel motion without disturbance? And here I'm talking about a cognitive disturbance. You're walking somewhere and say, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. Your mind's going 100 miles an hour. Your body is just doing whatever. Come back to the body. This is how we come to a still point. Let your body move, but let your awareness remain in that original stillness. Let's say you walk into a room. Feel the stillness. Rest in silence for one breath before answering a question. Notice the first reaction, mental or physical, and do nothing with it. Just witness it. Recognition itself is enough. Reminder that this is not a performance. There is no right stillness. Stillness is what remains when performing stops. Now, how does this work into building character? What's the essence of this? Stillness is a grounded presence that neither grasps nor resists. It's not a withdrawal, but a full willingness to be with what is. In character, it appears as steadiness, calm, integrity, and spacious attention. A person that you can lean into even in chaos. What are some of the false versions of this? Ego mimics stillness as detachment, dispassionate or spiritual bypassing. It becomes performance, calm on the outside, but defended and reactive within. It uses silence as a shield, not as an offering. How do we move in this from a place of self to not self? When the illusion of self dissolves, there is nothing left to defend, improve, or perform. What remains is unmoved awareness, naturally still because it has no center to be disturbed. This stillness is alive. It listens without needing to control. How is this embodied? A person grounded in stillness does not rush to fill the moment. Their speech is clean. Their present quiets the room, not by force, but by invitation. They act from clarity, not compulsion. And their restraint is not suppression, it is in reverence. So one line to take with you, I suppose, is stillness doesn't wait, it abides. Thank you. At the end of each one of these episodes, if you have questions, please, write them in the comments section. I think we'll have a link to an email that you can email directly, and then I can shape these future episodes to that accord, or maybe occasionally have a Q&A. This is a journey we can all go on together. And again, I think from my perspective, this is about looking how we are now in the world, relying on political figures, news figures, religious figures, whatever, and not ourselves to determine how our world is going to be. We become non-active puppets. We are capable more of that. Even if the world completely unravels, to build your own character, you will be able to walk through any firestorm, not with anger, not with contempt, but by being content, by being at peace, no matter the situation. Thank you.